What's going on, guys? Ranger McDanger here. Had to do a re-upload. It was way too dark on this last profile, so I'm just gonna re-upload everything and try to give you the same explanation as last time. If not, it'll be the gist of it, basically. So it is the Sukamon deck profile for BT15 EX5 format. Starting off, got the 4 eggs, the 4 Pagumon. I've seen some people running the Tokomon, I think it's from EX4, that has the on deletion of opponent's turn effect. This one is still essentially a draw one, as long as it's a black Digimon I added to hand. And I believe every single Digimon in here is either full black or part black. So as long as it doesn't hit any of the Tamer options, it's a draw one every time. And it's on deletion, so it's on either player's turn. For the starting off with the rookies, we got 4 of the BT11 Chumon. He reduces the Digivolution of a Sukamon by 1. And then his inheritable he shares with all but 2 of the Chumon in the deck. If this Digimon is Etemon or Suka, I can play out a Chumon suspended. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this copy. It can be any of the Chumon as long as that is its name. So I can bring back the Recursion Chumon, I can bring back the Memory Blocker. It just all depends on what's going on at that particular moment when it's destroyed. But usually it's him that I bring back because it allows me to go into my level 5s a lot easier because of that 1-cost Digivolution. So then next up we have the 3 Chumon. This is the one from BT13, the Recursion one. His own play by trashing a Sukamon or Etemon, I can add a card with Sukamon from trash to hand. He has the same inheritable, and the card that I typically add back with his effect is Suka's Curse, because Suka's Curse is basically where the fling and poop comes from. It turns their Digimon into a Sukamon until the end of my turn, so I can make use of it from effects like Etemon, that'll minus 3k, or for King Sukamon, where he gets an extra security attack. Next up, then we have the BT14 Chumon. His inheritable is different. It's a minus 3k, but his on play, I add the top security to my hand, then I can put an Etemon, I can put a Sukamon from my hand on top. So that's how the added back or just already in hand Suka's Curse can make it to security, one of the ways. And then with his inheritable, when they become a Sukamon, I can instantly delete it because his own deletion will minus 3k and it's already only at 3,000. One of the newer additions to the deck from EX5, this is the Chumon. His own play, if it's the opponent's turn, I can reveal the top 3 and play out a Sukamon. And it doesn't, it says Sukamon in its name, so it can be the King Sukamon, it can be Platinum Sukamon. As long as it has that Sukamon in its name, it plays it out for free. So he combos really well with the MetalEtemon from EX5 and also the King Etemon. And since he is just a Chumon, he can be played out from any of the inheritables that share this on deletion effect, so I can play him out on the opponent's turn relatively easy. And lastly, for the rookies, 2 of the memory blocker Chumon. Just as it says, opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects, so that can definitely shut down some plays if I bring it out on the opponent's turn. So starting off with the champions, we have the BT11 Sukamon, and his own deletion revealed the top 3, add a Chumon, Sukamon, or Etemon to hand. And his own deletion, his all turns when he would be deleted, I can delete a different Digimon with Sukamon. So he paired his inheritable pairs mostly with the King Sukamon. Like if I'm attacking security and he would be deleted in battle, I can pop an opponent's Sukamon that I made. But then his own deletion is just pure searching. So it lets me dig further and fills up my trash. Then we have Platinum Sukamon on deletion, D-Digiball 1. same inheritable. He pairs well with the King's Etemon, where he becomes a blocker. I can block with him, then de-digivolve something, or I can do a substitution deletion to the Platinum Sukamon, then de-digivolve something as well. So he has quite a bit of utility. Then we have 3 of the Sukamon from BT14. This is the security one. I can stack it with the yellow Chumon, or I can stack it with the EX5 MetalEtemon and bring out a body. It also, again, pairs well with King Etemon. That gives it a blocker. So a body from security that can block immediately, or just on my turn be able to just attack security. And his inheritable is different from the other Sukamon. He just minuses 3K on deletion. One target mon, his rule is treated as Etemon or Sukamon. He's a blocker. And then his own deletion, I can trash an Etemon or Sukamon card in my hand and add him back to hand. And then he also has that substitution deletion effect. I can add him back also with the recursion Chumon in case he's like in security or something. And I only play one just because of how easy it is to add him back. So that'll do it for the level 4s. For the level 5s, for the Etemon from EX5, his on play and when digivolving lets me do minus 3K and give a Digimon, this Digimon attacks at the start of the main phase. So it pairs well. You use that effect and then you go into one of your either King or EX5 MetalEtemon so that you can proc his inheritable, which is the opponent's turn when they attack. I can reveal the top 3 and play a black or yellow with a play cost of 3 or less and trash the rest. So that can pair well also with that EX5 Chumon, and really any of the Chumon that have the on play effect, or the Sukamons as well, just to give me like an extra body. So him and King or him and Metal really pair well together. He can also just use the minus 3K to get rid of like memory blockers or effect play blockers like the Pamumon. Then we have 3 of the security Etemon. His security effect, if I have 3 or more cards with Sukamon in their name and trash, I can play a level 6 Digimon with Etemon in its name from my hand for free. And his own deletion is just place him at the bottom of security. Inheritable, same thing, place 1 Etemon in trash at bottom of security. So he's how I cheat out a lot of my level 6s. The one that I mainly digivolve is the EX5 MetalEtemon. The other 2 I typically just kind of shuffle, playing them out with Etemon's effect. And it would not be a profile of poop without the king himself, King Sukamon. His own play when digivolving lets you turn something into a Sukamon if they have 16 or more in their trash, or if I have 3 or more cards with Sukamon in their name in their trash. And for each card with Sukamon in its name on the field in play, he gets security attack +1 for the turn when attacking. So his inheritable is all turns. When he would be deleted, I can pop a Sukamon instead. So it's just turn it into poop. Same thing with Suka's Curse, and then just swing for multiple checks, especially if he lives. And if he doesn't live, at worst, it's clearing a body off of their board. So for the level 6s, 4 of the EX5 MetalEtemon, this one really was like one of the glue pieces for me to make the deck work the best. His on play or when digivolving, it deletes a play cost 3 or less Digimon or Tamer. But for every Etemon or Sukamon in its name in my trash, I can add to the max play cost by 1. So like he can be good early game to pop the Tamers, or extremely good mid or late game to just clear a big body off the board. And then when the opponent's Digimon attacks, I can put a card with Eta or Sukamon in its name on top of my security, and I can either switch the attack to him or make it go directly to the player. So like if they're attacking a Digimon that I don't want to die yet, or if I don't have anything in security to protect my life, I can pseudo recover one from his effect and then switch the attack to him. And he pairs really well with the Memory Tamer tie from the structure deck because I can tap the tie, make him 14k, and then draw back a new card to replace the one I just put in security. So it'll be a 14k blocker effectively. Then I have 2 of the BT11. His own play, or when digivolving, I reveal the top 4 and then play out a total number of cards whose play cost equal up to 7 or less, with Chumon, Etta, or Suka in their name, trash the rest. So he's definitely a swarmer. I almost always play this guy off of the Etemon, the yellow Etemon for security effect. It's really good effect. If I hit the Chumon from EX5 off his effect, that's even more bodies swarming the field. It's really good for playing wide. Then 2 of the King. All turns when another of my Etemon or Sukas are deleted, one of my opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k and security attack -1. And then all of my Etemon or Sukamon gain blocker, and they can't be bounced to hand or deck. So playing wide with him on the field is really good because everything becomes a blocker. You just gotta, watch out for the Death X-Mon. And speaking of, I play the 1 of Death X-Mon. This is to mainly combat decks that play just as wide or just as fast. And specifically, that's Fenrir Lugamon and Commandramon as the main 2 instigators of this. So now we're moving on to the Tamers. Like I mentioned earlier, the structure deck tie, just 2 of him. It's a Memory Tamer. It boosts my MetalEtemon by 2k, and then I draw 1. Simple as that. It's really good at Tamer, especially with how easily I'm able to get into the MetalEtemon. That 2k boost helps me get around quite a bit of stronger DP Digimon. Then for the options, gonna start off with the 2 Suka's Curse. The security effect is the main one that I use. It changes an opponent's Digimon into white and having 3k with an original name of Sukamon. So it pairs well with quite a bit of my effects that let me substitute deletion. Very rarely I'll use the main effect where it lets me ignore evolution requirements and just go straight into a card with Sukamon in its name, as long as it's not white, which I don't have any white Digimon in here. So this can let me cheat into a King Sukamon if I really needed to change something into poop on the opponent's board. But 9 times out of 10, I'm just placing this in security with a Chumon or a MetalEtemon effect. Then we have 2 Pride Memory Boost. So this is a dual-sided thing. It lets me fill my trash, but also potentially play out one of my Chumon or Sukamon. The memory gain is nice, but the mill really is, the mill and play is really where it shines in here. And last 2 options, Heaven's Judgment. This is a card that actually can be pretty good in either the security or in hand. Security, it just gives minus 12k to 1, but the main effect, one of my opponent's Digimon gets minus 6k. Then for every color Digimon I have, I can activate that again. So usually I'm doing a total of minus 18k among different Digimon on board. And if it's a really tall stack, I can usually delete that whole stack. Because 18k on my turn is pretty rare with this deck. It's just a really good option card. Not much need to be said about that. So again, let me know what you guys think. Hopefully the lighting was a lot better on this one. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe, like button, all that stuff. And I'll talk with you guys later. Have a good day.